Hey everybody, I'm Crow. Welcome to Legend of Grimrock. We finally built enough pylons. Normal scales monster damage, speed, and aggressiveness in combat. The setting can't be changed. Yeah, let's just stick with normal. Create characters. Check this option if you prefer to customize your characters instead of playing with predetermined parties. Oh, I don't know what I should do. I imagine that creating your own characters makes them a lot stronger. New prisoner. Alright, so these are just portraits. We're gonna go with a human... Wow. Why are these the four races? That's fine. I'm just like... I kind of expected elves and dwarves and stuff, not... Minotaurs and lizard men and insectoids. So Minotaurs, bulky, simple, and keen to violence. They're tolerated in cities because of their ability to do labor, and labor that demands great strength and stamina. So basically the important stuff is they eat more, they get 1 skill point, 5 strength, -4 dex, +4 vitality, -1 willpower. They get lots of skill points, no positives or negatives. Basically what I figured for humans. Lizard men get dex, but lose willpower, and get skill points. Let's see, they're deceitful. Yeah, okay. And insectoids. Mostly keep to themselves and rarely wander in the lands of humankind. Believe that they're known for their knowledge of arcane and is unrivaled. Strength -2. Less food consumption, good skill points. Dexterity, vitality. Alright, and there's only 3 classes. I thought there was going to be like rangers and stuff too. So we'll do a human fighter. Is there any way to make them female? Generate, portrait. So now I'd asked if I could make a Lilith for this at one point, but I don't see... Oh, you just click on the portrait. You don't have to set the gender. So we'll have a human fighter named Lilith. Hopefully that was the proper spelling. I don't remember if there was another L in there. Energy, health, athletics. The skill represents the time spent exercising your physique. Spending your points in this skill increases your physical ability. Armors represent the fighter's knowledge of armors and defensive combat techniques. Axes, maces, swords. Unarmed. We've got 4 skill points, so Lilith is going to be... I imagine swords are the most common weapon here, so we're going to want one in that. Athletics seems general. It's nice to have armor. Unarmed combat. I don't know if there's weapon durability. I don't know really anything about this game. Axes... Add axes, just to give a little bit more variety. Points left. I don't know if this is Dungeons and Dragons or Advanced Dungeons and Dragons or what. Because in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, I think you don't get a skill bonus until you get to 15 strength or something. Or 14 and to 18 or something. 15 to 18. But in regular D&D, every even number gives you a +1 above and below 10. Or minus, respectively. But since there's only 4 different stats... I'm going to say it's pretty safe that we want that. Vitality is health, so it's basically constitution. Dexterity is the ability to move quickly and perform maneuvers with accuracy and stuff. I imagine this is more ranged combat, throwing weapons, dodging. So... Does this consume multiple points? No. Yeah, I just put 8 in because I wanted 6 into strength. Overall fitness, the amount of health points... Honestly, this is making her more like a barbarian than a fighter, but we're gonna put the points into vitality. I don't know if this game probably has permadeath, but I think it also has saving and loading, so... Hopefully, if we get murdered, I can't imagine this is like a roguelike, so... Your attacks are full of rage, +4 attack power, that seems sweet. 2 dex is good for the dodge, more strength. So this is just like attack damage or something, and then this is actual, like, the modifier. I think we're definitely going to take that. Got a min-max? Probably. 15 energies, probably for movements and stuff. Cold resistance is good. Evasion for not getting hit. I don't know how that works with heavy armor, though. Daemon Ancestor, your great-grandfather had fiery eyes. Resist 25 fire. Or fire 25. I assume this is percent. But, this fighter, you know how to survive in tavern brawls. We're not having her specialize in unarmed combat. Healthy, extra vitality could be pretty awesome. Poison resistant is good. Skilled. 3 more skill points? Holy crap. Toughness is more health. Alright, there's actually really good ones here. Like, I want to give her vitality, but 3 more skill points could be amazing. So let's pick that one up. How many can I put into one of these? Could I put all of these? Like, there's no level restriction? You could just put all 7 points into one of them. That's ridiculous. Athletics, armor, axes. Let's put an extra point into swords and axes, and then 1 point into maces in case we find a especially cool, like, magic one. So, with all of this stuff in, she has 2 traits. Maximum load. Oh, it's 10 kilograms. I sense a European game. She's human, she's a fighter, her name's Lilith. She has a portrait. That looks more fightery than the other one. So I think we're good with her. Click to add prisoners. Rogue. I don't know how to balance this party. I imagine the rogue would want to be in the back because they're stealthy. I did hear that you can't melee things from the back row, so probably give the rogue a bow or something. But it says they have a backstab attack, so I'm like, do I put the rogues in the front, or do I have another fighter? You're gonna have to have 2 of something here, considering these are the only classes. I assumed it would be 2 fighters. So let's have... 2 fighters is probably better than 2 of anything else. Because 2 rogues would be too squishy, and we only need 1 skill person, and... you don't really need more mages, because then they have to split up the spells that they get. So let's just do another fighter named Nod. And... go the opposite route with unarmed combat. Aggressive, cold resistances, maybe a lighter armor one that you... no, Plus 6 attack power when unarmed. Vitality for not dying is great. More health. Should we just make him super healthy? He could be the tanky one. Or would evasion be better for that? Sorry, there's just a lot of thinking into this, and I don't really know how all this stuff ends up working out. But I'm just going to go for damage, I guess. So, strength and attack power. And then the other person's really athletic, so we'll dump maces. Because if I find a really good sword, only one of them is going to be able to get it. Unless I find an equally good one. So I'm going to put more points into maces than this one. Than Lilith. Drop 1 into armor, and 1 into unarmed combat, just in case we don't have a weapon somehow. He should at least be proficient in using unarmed stuff. The strength is 12 here. So we can get that up to 18. Willpower is the ability to focus energy points on first and subsequent levels. Hit points. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the dodge is cool, but I don't know how the armor is going to factor in. So we're going to keep that off for now. Nod, human fighter. Whatever. I don't have names for the other people. Should we do other people? Lizard Man for dexterity. Yeah, we'll have a lizard man for the rogue. That way, it's not just a party of humans. I don't have a lizard people name. His name's Zort. I don't care. That was the first thing that popped into my head, and it sounds somewhat lizardy because there's an accident. So if he's going to be a thief, ooh, and he does get the bonus to dexterity. I don't want him to have any negatives in case energy points are like your stamina. So I'm gonna put 1 in this to balance it out, but we got 2 out of this, so we get like a benefit of 1. So if I put that up to 16, strength is probably going to be more for melee damage. He's not going to be in the back, or in the front, so he shouldn't be using physical damage, I don't think. Unless he has a sling or something. So we'll put a couple of points into Vitality, just so that he has enough health to not get one shot. And then the rest into Dex. Again, I really hope that this isn't Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, because then I'm totally wasting these points. But considering that there's only 4 stats here, I imagine it should be fine. Yeah, this one feels more roguey to me. Rogue, Lizard Man, Zort, Assassination, Daggers, Dodge, Missile Weapons, and Throwing Weapons. I definitely think I want that more. Like, Assassination and stuff is cool, but I don't want to put a Rogue in the front. Seems kind of dangerous. Improves defensive abilities. So we're going to put points into Dodge, Missile Weapons, and Thrown Weapons, because they're not going to be doing unarmed combat because they won't be in the front. Daggers, same thing. Assassination, probably the same thing. Oh, they get a reach attack at 12 points. That's kind of curious that they don't get more skill points, being that they're rogues. Though I guess this basically is like weapon proficiency, so it makes sense that the fighters would get more. Actually, I think this is race-based, never mind. Still. Agile is a dexterity bonus. Evasive for not getting hit. We have somebody that can actually benefit from that. He has a really... 20 dex. That has to be amazing. Like... Doesn't this give another 2? And he gets like 2 from racial stuff, I think. It's pretty monstrous. And not just because he's a lizard man. Missile weapons, everything's good over there. I think this is fine. Lizard man and rogue. Stats are distributed. We got the portrait. And... let's do a Alright, I don't want to be racist, but I really, like, these people look gross. I don't really want to have a bug person. They might be absolutely amazing, but I fashion souls every game, and I don't want to have a giant bug walking around with us. And I can't imagine a Minotaur would make the best sorcerer. So I think we're just going to do a human female for the sorceress. And... let's see, she's going to want willpower. Okay, yes, so you can only put points in up to 16. I didn't even notice last time. Athletics... all of these seem terribly not useful for her. Strength +1, woo! Protection +1, woo! I don't think... can they even cast while they're wearing armor? Spending points in this skill improves the effectiveness of equipped armor. I wonder if clothes, like just base clothes, count as armor, and I get 2 protect her, an additional protection from this. But putting points in axe, maces, swords, and unarmed... I mean, I guess it's true that she's probably going to run into spells at the early levels, and going to have to hit things. But unless she has a reach weapon, I don't think she's going to be able to hit them from the back anyway. She is... a potent aura. That seems like that's... since it's under willpower, I assume that that's either stamina, which would be good, or some kind of casting resource. So we're probably going to go with that. And... I'm sure these resistances come into play in niche parties when you know what you're doing, but since I don't know what we're going to be fighting, I'm going to stay away from them. And she's going to be getting more willpower, so that her willpower is 18. Human... oh, what am I doing? I almost didn't click on mage. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'm so glad I didn't make her a fighter. Thank you for actually having abilities that make sense. Ooh, it's by elements. Air magic. This skill represents your character's training in air magic. You obtain the power to cast new spells and increase the efficiency of air spells as you advance in this skill. In order to learn a spell, you also need to find a scroll explaining the runes of the spell. That makes sense. Staff defense improves mage's defensive abilities. So is this like using mage armor from a staff, or does actually having a staff increase their armor, even though it would be a weapon slot? Skill Spellcraft represents your overall progress in the way of magic. Advancing this skill enables you to cast more spells before exhausting your energy resource. That seems pretty bombastic. I like ice magic. I like fire magic. I like air magic. Earth magic, I don't really care about. It might be fantastic in this game, but as far as elements go, like water, air, and ice have always been my favorite. And fire's pretty fun from time to time, like, just to mess around with. We still have 4 more points on here, so we're going to put 2 into Vitality so that she has more health, because that gives her an extra 5 points. And Dexterity makes her evasion go up by 2, so hopefully she'll get hit less. So she has enough health to not get one-shot, and she has dodge, so hopefully she won't get that one-shot in the first place. Willpower's maxed out for her damage. I should have been looking at these numbers more. I didn't really check them for the other people. Strength can't go any lower. It doesn't want you to have any stats sub 10, it seems. But she's a human mage. Got her portrait. Traits are good. Skills are good. And her name is, Alessandra, for whatever reason. I have no idea. Good enough. Start game. Mount Grimrock. A towering spire looms above the clouds, a weathered rock that has stood tall for ages. Longer than histories of men have been written. It is a desolate place now, only remembered when things need to be discarded and forgotten. Okay, good, it's press any key. I was like, how fast do I have to read this? Am I in trouble? An airship struggles to gain altitude as it floats towards the peak. We made it! 4 prisoners, bound by heavy chains, emerge from the ship. The court accuses them of terrible, treasonous deeds, but by the grace of the king, their crime shall be forgiven atop Mount Grimrock. This is Sparta. Their final trial is at hand. Numerous prisoners have received their pardons here, yet none have returned to live their life in freedom. They are at the very top of the world, and below them, only darkness and justice awaits. Yeah, this had Sparted them. How do they not die from the fall? As they are plunged down the open maw at the peak, their crimes are absolved. Everyone before them has perished in the guts of the mountain. But will you be able to lead them through the dark into the freedom that awaits at the base of Mount Grimrock? Legend of Grimrock. I'm curious if Earth Magic or one of those magics gives healing capabilities. Because I noticed there isn't a clerical class. First time playing Grimrock? A tutorial is available from the pause menu. Alright, so WASD moves, Q and E change directions, and I believe in the other menu it said that R is to rest. The rest of it appears to just be clicking on these things here. That's going to be disorienting. No, I want you to go to the side. Okay. But whenever combat starts, you click on these, and they do things. And this is the party order. These 2 are in the front, and these 2 are in the back. So if they had, like, a knife or something, I don't think they'd be able to hit them from how it was explained to me. But she has magic, so hopefully we'll be able to... Oh, if I right-click this, it does stuff. Anyhow, I'll look over this stuff and probably do the tutorial, and we'll start the next episode actually doing things. I hope this episode was at least somewhat interesting for thought process stuff. I thought about skipping it, but... I don't know. Like, I figured the character creation would be kind of important, because we're going to be with these characters for a while, I imagine. So, let me know if it was interesting or not. Yay! Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you liked it. Later, everybody.